Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I'm Sal Warner of Stretford Post. I hope you're all doing well. Good morning, Sonny. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope everyone has recovered from the elements that was last night. Of course, England were knocked out of the European Championships, and Spain are crowned European Championships for the first time in over a decade. I've got a lot to say about that. I've got a lot to say about, of course, the tactics and what went wrong on yesterday night. So, and I've got a few bones to pick with a few people and a few players as well, to be honest with you. Firstly, let's talk about what's more important. Let's talk about Manchester United. And obviously, Manchester United have been in the transfer market a long time now. It seems like months, like we've been after different players every single day. There's a different name coming onto the list of players that we're after. Of course, there's like an A to Z of players that we are after. And it's absolute madness. That's why they call it silly season, of course. So, yeah, lots to delve into in regards to Manchester United. Things may start moving more swiftly now and more quickly now that the Euros is over, now that the Copa America is over. Argentina won the Copa America last night, defeating Colombia 1-0 after extra time, with Martinez scoring the goal. Not Luchafi, Lautaro Martinez scored the goal. So Argentina are crowned Copa America champions again, and Spain are European champions. So we go from there. In regards to Manchester United, we now have a chance to get the progress, get the moving of the transfers going, and keep and just pick up the speed a little bit, because players are coming back now. Players are coming back from Europe. Players coming back from South America, and things that can be done now. Transfers can be completed, and we can start getting a move on. We can start preparing for pre-season. Of course, Manchester United play tonight against Rosenborg in the first pre-season of the summer. Tonight, the team should be a bunch of young players. It will be interesting to see Harry Amas, who's been called up to the squad for this one. Yeah, it's also interesting to see Shea Lacey and players such as that nature called up to the squad and playing against Rosenborg for the first time under Ten Hag. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the real football coming back. You know, the real nitty-gritty football, the proper football's coming back now. The only thing that's coming home is proper football, and that is Manchester United. Real football that matters. Not that. Let's be honest. The tournament was dead. Now, Manchester United and Lille have come to an agreement with Leny Yoro. Leny Yoro, of course, was gaining interest of Real Madrid and amongst others. But Real Madrid, it seems, have pulled out of the deal to sign Leny Yoro, giving Manchester United a clear path for Yoro. What that does for the player, it remains to be seen. Of course, Real Madrid are Leny Yoro's first choice, but Manchester United now have momentum and now seem to be the team that he's most likely to sign for. This is very good news, of course. Leny Yoro is a very versatile player, very good player, very skillful player. And it'd be interesting to see him alongside Matthias de Ligt, alongside Ligt Martinez coming into that defensive line. If we do sign Leny Yoro with Matthias de Ligt also due to have his medical at Manchester United and agreed terms, it will add an element of competition in our back line. Who will be the first starting back line? Who will be the first starting centre backs? We will have de Ligt, we'll have Yoro, we'll have Ligt Martinez. Of course, we have Johnny Evans, let's not forget, in the background as well. So it's interesting to know what the defence will be next season, of course, with those type of quality players who are going to be brought into the side. Leny Yoro now has the choice of either speaking to Man United or nothing at all, because Real Madrid have pulled out of the deal. According to various media reports, Real Madrid do not want to follow up their interest in Leny Yoro. And Manchester United have composed a very compelling argument for Yoro to sign for Manchester United. It is said that Yoro was very impressed with Man United's proposal, and Manchester United are very, very interested in the player, and the player could be a Manchester United player very soon. That's very good news, of course. Be the second signing of the Ineos, but that could be either de Ligt or Yoro, could be one of the two. But who knows who's going to come through the door first? Matthijs de Ligt, a little update on him. The Matthijs de Ligt deal is somewhat stalling in regards to transfer fee not being agreed. Manchester United are still negotiating with Bayern Munich to agree a fee of the player, believed to be in the region of 42 to 52 million euros. Obviously, Bayern Munich want the high end of that deal. They want a 50 plus million deal for the player. Manchester United are offering 42 million plus incentives. So obviously, Bayern Munich are really stalling at the moment, trying to get more money, trying to squeeze money at Man United, of course. And they're trying to do Man United for whatever they can to get as much money for De Ligt as possible. Of course, De Ligt has been subject of fan revolts against the sale of De Ligt. Fans don't want him to leave. Fans have written petitions. Fans have written letters. Fans have written whatnot. Your fans have done it. So they want to keep De Ligt. So De Ligt is proving to be a more difficult deal than expected. It's believed it will get over the line, but probably won't be over the line as soon as we thought it would, as quickly as we thought it would, of course. Although, if we sign Yoro, Leny Yoro, could be the second signing for Manchester United coming through the door. He could be the one who comes through the door next, as Real Madrid have pulled out of that deal, and we have accepted a fee with Lille as well. So it is a very exciting transfer and a very exciting time to be a Man United fan in regards to players coming in now. If we do, we have already Xerxes, of course, up front. We got good, well-needed competition in that front line, of course, we have, and it's really interesting to see next season. I'm really excited for the new season to come along. I'm really excited for Man United and to see the players coming through the door and the players who are going to be embedded into that side. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we do next season. Hopefully, we get off to a flyer. Sadly, a lot of these players won't be ready for pre-season, but they will be ready for, I believe, the Charity Shield a week before the Premier League starts. So hopefully a lot of those players will start in the first game against Fulham coming up, of course. So hopefully we get off to a magnificent start. We win that game comprehensively. Now, Leny Yoro, of course, is a young player, very skillful, tall, strong, quick, versatile, very, very good player, and probably one of the best young mid defenders in the game at the moment. So very impressed if we do get that one over the line. Real Madrid pulling out is significant, very, very significant, of course, because he's said to be interested in only Real Madrid. But Manchester United have proposed a very compelling argument to bring Yoro to Manchester United. And it looks like Yoro could be a Manchester United player very soon. He could be the second signing for Manchester United, which will be a surprise. We thought it would be De Ligt, but De Ligt is stalling because of Bayern Munich. But Yoro would mark a very, very good buy. Of course, Manchester United have signed Xerxes. Joshua Xerxes has signed and quoted and worn the shirt and had his medical. It all went so quickly. It was very, very shrewd business for Minios. The deal went through like smoothly. It's more smooth than I can imagine at Man United. It just went through so quickly. No delays, no nothing. Just get it done, dusted, signed, sealed, delivered. It was done. He was wearing the Manchester United shirt. So that was very impressive for Minios. And I'm very impressed that they got a deal over the line early. Of course, the player can't play in the pre-seasons because of his play that the Euro is going to need 2 weeks off. But we'll be ready for the Charity Shield, I'm sure, against Manchester City, 1-1-5. So hopefully Xerxes will play some part in the end back line of the friendlies of the pre-season, but it's most likely he will start in a Charity Shield final against Manchester City. What are your thoughts on the Xerxes deal, guys? What are your thoughts? Are you happy with that deal? I'm just impressed it was done so quickly. I'm impressed it went through the line, over the line so quickly and so smoothly, and we got it done. So like out of the blue, like sort of thing in regards to that, because I predicted Xerxes would be done by Friday. It was done by Friday. And then it was obviously completed completely on Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. So brilliant for Manchester United. Now it's time to move on to some other players. Of course, we need defenders. Of course, the Ligt is stalling at the moment. I believe he will come through the door. I believe he will be one of the next players through. But I believe Leny Yoro will be the next signing for Manchester United. Don't quote me. That's my prediction. I believe he will be the next signing for Manchester United. I believe because we have an agreement with Lille, I believe he will be it's easy for him to choose United now that Real Madrid have pulled out of the deal. Now, the Copa America has finished with Argentina being crowned the champions of South America once again. Surprise, surprise. But Ugarte for Uruguay will be coming back to Europe, obviously, and will be talking to Manchester United. Now, this deal could elevate very quickly. Obviously, Manchester United, they're still negotiating with PSG. And of course, they have to agree a deal. PSG is said to want 53 million euros, which is a bit more than what they paid for him a year or so ago, which is a bit unfair considering he hasn't settled at PSG and didn't set the world alight. But obviously, who does set the world alight at PSG? Not many players do. So I would say that Ugarte will be agreed very soon, and that will be probably our third signing. If they all walk through the door at the same time, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? If we have all the players coming through, we have the Ligt, we have Yoro, we have Ugarte, obviously we've got Xerxes already. But it would be brilliant to get a midfield in there to complement Kobe Mainu. Of course, Ugarte is a very physical, very powerful player. He can play in that midfield and can support the back line. Of course, we've missed that over the years. Of course, we had Casemiro. Casemiro performed very amicably for 1 year, but after that, sort of fell off last season, didn't he? And maybe it's time to move on to pastures new. Al Ittihad of Saudi Arabia are very interested in Casemiro, and if we do sell Casemiro, that would be a huge wage off our bill. And Ugarte coming in will be a very, very good replacement in my humblest of humble opinions. What do you make of that? Ugarte, Xerxes, Yoro, De Ligt. If the preseason ended like that, would you be happy with those signings? Tell me. I'm very, very concerned about the left side of the fence. I think the left back is a big concern. I don't think Luke Shaw is fit. I don't think he looked fit yesterday, although he played well. I don't think he looked fit. I think we need a specialist left-sided centre-back to cover Martinez when he's out. I think we struggled when he was injured. I think we do need someone of that, a left-sided centre-back in there. And I believe probably we do need another right-back. If we do get rid of Wan-Bissaka, we probably do need another right-back as well. So and a right winger. There's a lot of work to be done. It probably won't be done in the first window. Of course, we've got that recruitment officer who's going to be working on transfers, which could speed up the processes. But we have to be realistic here and say, look, if we sign Xerxes, Ugarte, De Ligt, and Yoro, I think that'd be a very good summer for our first summer for Ineos, and it would improve the squad immensely. Remember, we have so many players that need to leave the club. Not only players coming in, but we have a lot of players that need to leave the club. Remember, Sancho now looks to be staying. I don't know if there's going to be any other bids. Nothing is coming out of Juventus at the moment. It could be that Sancho surprisingly stays at Manchester United, which is a disappointment for some people. Some people don't want him to stay, and I don't blame them. And some people want him to go, of course, and I don't blame them, of course. But obviously, there is a Sancho little fan club over there. There's a little fan society over there, and they can support him more than one. I wish him the best of luck, and I hope that he reaches his full potential. If he's at Man United, so be it. Just perform on the pitch, and that's all I care about. If you're not going to apologise to the fans, you better start performing, and you better start putting a shirt on, and you better start winning games and contributing to winning games, and not underperform like you have done for 2 seasons. Now, Manchester United are entering the transfer market a bit differently than before. Of course, under the Glazers, it was a bit aimless, and we had no idea what was going on. We were going around panic buying and signing players that we were overpriced and wages were too high because we panic buyed and our negotiation skills are absolutely null and void. The difference between this transfer window is that it looks like we have our targets, and we don't have just a couple of targets. We have a bunch of targets. So if one target doesn't work, we go after the other target, etc. And that for me is a refreshing kind of strategy that Ineos are implementing, and I really, really like what I'm seeing. And at the end of the day, it looks like things will get moving now. The Euros have finished, should I say, and now that the Copa America has finished as well, now officially, it's time that we move on to the real football. It's time that we move on to Manchester United, and let's keep it going with the signing. Xerxes, first one through the door, first of many. I hope upon hope, fingers crossed, that we get more through the door within the next coming days. Manchester United play Rosenborg tonight. It'd be interesting to see the lineup. Of course, there's a few players there, established players. We got Mason Mount there. We got Rashford there, of course, who will be playing that one. Bissaka will be in that team, of course. All the players who didn't go to the Euros, who didn't go to the Cup of America, will be playing in that game. It is likely. I will try and get a little watch along for that, but I'll keep you posted. It will be great to do a watch along for the first Manchester United game. Any game of Manchester United is a privilege. It's the first Manchester United game of the pre-season, which is always an exciting time in Rosenborg. So it's nice when we go to Norway. Norway, fantastic fan base over there in regards to Manchester United. So it is very exciting to bring back real football. Now, Manchester United have inquired about the availability of Dan Ndoye. Ndoye, who plays for Xerxes' former club, Bologna, has caught the eye of Manchester United during his impressive performances in the European Championships. Ndoye can play on the right, but also plays as an attacking midfielder. Is a very quick, very skillful, and very creative player who would add a new dimension to Manchester United. Manchester United are looking in the market for another winger, but Ndoye could prove difficult now that Bologna have sold Xerxes, with Bologna reluctant to let Ndoye go for a fee less than 50 million euros. Ndoye played very well for Switzerland, was very impressive for Switzerland. But now that Sancho has stayed, in my opinion, is staying, perhaps it's not the right deal to do. It's not a priority position that we need if Sancho is staying. Unfortunately, many wanted Sancho out so we can get new wingers in. But it looks like Sancho wants to fight for his place. If he does stay and fight for his place, all power to him. Let him fight for his place. But we cannot hear any murmurs. We cannot hear any moaning. We cannot hear any leaking. We cannot hear any of that. We cannot have any more distractions in this pivotal period for Manchester United, this crucial period for Manchester United. Now, Dan Ndoye, of course, is a new player, another player on the conveyor belt of players that we're interested in, another name that we're interested in. But it's good to see that we're after a number of targets and a number of talented targets as well. So Ndoye could be subject of a bid for Manchester United. Don't be surprised if we make a bid. And don't be surprised if you hear a lot more about Ndoye in the next few days. Dan Ndoye, of course, a young player, fits the mould of what Ineos like. And I wouldn't be opposed to the signing. What I would say, though, is that we do need priority positions completed first, including midfield and defence and fullbacks. That would be my priority right now, this second. What do you think about that? What would be your priority position to fulfill first before we start buying and selling? What's your preferred transfer of the window? What would make you happy? What transfer would make you think, wow, yes, this is it. This is it. We're ready for next season. What transfer would make you think, yeah, we're ready. Next season we're going to be fire. What would it be? Who would it be? Name me a name. Come on. Tell me who you want to sign and let's see. If it comes to fruition, you never know. You never know. You might bless the stream with a name and we end up signing that player. Who knows? I didn't think we'll sign Leny Yoro. Leny Yoro, of course, has been on Manchester United's radar for so long, but I thought he would go to Real Madrid. But he's obviously now looks like he could be at Man United, considering Real Madrid have pulled out of the deal. Guys, don't forget to smash a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You are all legends for joining me this morning. Now, I had a little rant yesterday because of the game, the England game, of course. Yesterday, England got knocked out by Spain 2-1. Unsurprisingly, were outplayed for most of the game. Spain had most of the possession. Spain had most of the chances. England only played when they conceded the goal. But every time England scored a goal, they would sit back. And this is the problem that Gareth Southgate has. Now, my biggest argument about everything that happened yesterday and the players that underperformed, Declan Rice severely underperformed, John Stones severely underperformed, and Kyle Walker severely underperformed, amongst others, of course. But can you blame the players when we have the manager? It's not a coincidence that these players are underperforming under this manager. This manager looks like he's absolutely clueless. He was clueless yesterday. And unfortunately, the luck ran out. The individual brilliance did not happen. It nearly happened. They had a goal cleared off the line. but England didn't play creative enough. They didn't have enough dynamic to their play. They weren't attacking enough, and that's thanks to Gareth Southgate. And Gareth Southgate does need to leave the international fold now. That's 4 tournaments he's had, no trophies. Well done, you got to a final, but no trophies. You need trophies. We don't care about second place. And I've said that many, many times. Whether it's the Premier League, whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the League Cup, whether it's the Champions League, we don't care about second place. Man United have come second in Europe a few times. I don't care about second place. It's about winning at the end of the day. And Gareth Southgate is not a winner since 1996, missing that penalty, to getting Middlesbrough relegated, to getting England relegated in the Nations League, to getting knocked out of the 2018 semi-final against Croatia without even really, really trying, and then to get knocked out against France in the World Cup in 2022 with a whimper, and then getting knocked out to Italy in the final of the European Championships by playing boring defensive football. So he had a chance in that game yesterday, but we went out with a whimper again, let's be honest. And at the end of the day, if you're not going to attack consistently and you're not going to put pressure on Spain, I felt that they're never going to win that game. They'll never look like getting back into that game. Spain looked like the one scoring when it went to 1-1. I thought England would get the momentum once Palmer equalised, but he didn't, and they played defensive. And when you sit back and when you invite a team like Spain onto you, you're only asking for problems, of course. Yes, a few of the players played admirably, like Luke Shaw, of course, played very well. Considering he's been out since February, he's been probably one of England's better performers. Kyle Walker was absolutely terrible. I do believe Kyle Walker is severely overrated. I do believe that Declan Rice is severely overrated as well. But we have to also throw a lot of the blame on the manager, because at the end of the day, tactically, we don't know what we're doing. Certain players, you see them at their clubs play very well. Foden has been poor this tournament. You see them play for Manchester City and they look like world beaters. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just the manager. I just don't think they have the tactical prowess to play a attacking, expansive, dynamic style of football. And I think Southgate needs to go. I think Southgate should pack his bags now and say, look, I've tried. It's not working, goodbye. And I think that's what should happen. That's the next thing that should happen. But more importantly now, let's put that to one side. One more thing though. Let me just talk about people who want to go out wearing Spanish shirts when you're from certain different, not even from Spain, and you're going out buying Spanish shirts, you're going out wearing Spanish shirts and supporting Spain. You can have your preference who you want to win. No one's denying that. But when you go out and wear Spanish shirts and celebrate that is nothing but a loser mentality. And I'll say that as it is. Everyone out there who wore a Spanish shirt yesterday is not Spanish. There's no relatives who's Spanish. Basically losers, because at the end of the day, they're supporting a rival team to England because their team's rubbish. When over the years I supported Manchester United, we've had a lot of haters, a lot of people who hate Man United. And we should have learned from that. You should learn from people hating on you. It's a very loser kind of mentality to go out there, buy yourself a Spanish shirt, wear a Spanish shirt, but pretend you're Spanish for a couple of minutes, when genetically you ain't got it. You're not Spanish. So just live with it and, support your team, support your country. Don't go out buying Spanish shirts. That is just, a lot of them live in England as well. And, they're not even Spanish and they're supporting Spain like, Spain saved their mother or something, ridiculous, pathetic. But we move on to Manchester United, more of a winning side to football conversation, which is Manchester United, the FA Cup champions, of course. Hopefully next season, Manchester United will be challenging for major honours again. With the signings that are coming through the door, it looks like it's exciting times for the club. Of course, now that Yoro, the positive noises behind Yoro is really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to bringing more players in the club. Xerxes, I'm excited to see. I think he could develop. I don't think he's a finished article yet either. And I think under Ten Hag's stewardship, he will be a very, very good buy. Long term, he will be a very, very good buy and adds much needed competition for Rasmus Højlund. Of course, do you believe Manchester United need another striker of experience Do you think Manchester United need an experienced striker? Let me know. I think Man United might need another experienced striker to go up there. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there were talkers, even Tony signing for Manchester United, but the price tag may be beyond our reach, considering the amount of players that we need. Obviously, Tony will go for no less than 16 million, I'm guessing. So Manchester United were interested in Tony, are interested in Tony. Tony is rumoured to be a Manchester United fan and would like to make the move. I wouldn't be opposed to the move. I'll just say that we got so many priority positions to fill first. If we can get a free transfer, experienced striker, it would be good. We need to get our scouting gear in order. We need to go to South America. We should have been scouting the Copa America. Should have been doing things like that, looking for the next big thing over there as well, of course. Yoro, what's going on, mate? Southgate is a terrible manager. His tactics are nonsense. Yeah, his tactics are nonsense. Frustrating is not the word. It is so frustrating when you have the pool of talent on that pitch, and you only start attacking when you could see the goal. And when it went to 1-1, I was like, Spain are going to score. Spain are going to score. They're going to score. They're just like it. England just sat back, And they had a couple of chances before that. Pickford made a couple of good saves, and it was just, it was just going to happen. And England just didn't turn up. I'll put that down to Gareth Southgate again. The whole tournament they didn't turn up and relied on individual brilliance or penalties. So they won. Basically, England won 2 games the whole tournament. In regards, they beat Holland, and they beat Slovenia after 90 minutes. Those are the only 2 games that they've won. One after 120 minutes, of course. They won against Holland and they won against Slovenia. So 3 games they won altogether, but 1 after 120 minutes, 2 games after 90 minutes. So it's not good enough. England were very fortunate. They had a very lucky draw as well. The draws were kind to them, let's be honest. And if they played Spain in the last 16, that would have happened and they would have got knocked out, wouldn't they? So we can't really praise Southgate too much, because at the end of the day, that's what I said. I said I'd rather England play France, Spain in a semi-final and a quarter-final than play Switzerland and Slovakia, because at the end of the day, when you get to the final, it's more disappointing and it annoys you more, because it's the hope that kills you, of course. But I would have rather England play Spain in the last 16 and get it over and done with, to be honest with you, because Southgate is a poor manager. Now, who is watching the Manchester United game against Rosenborg? Manchester United play Rosenborg tonight in the first pre-season game of the summer. Really exciting time, of course, being a Man United fan. I remember all the times when I used to buy the newspapers at this time of year when I was a kid. I used to ring the hotline. I used to run up a huge bill. My mum used to come after me because I used to run up a huge bill trying to find out transfer news. Because back then you couldn't find out transfer news like we can today. It weren't like today where you can get access to journalists, you can get access to clubs, you can go on social media and you can find the next transfer who we're after. You can delve into the jungle, to the Narnia that is social media, and you can find who's the next target we're going to sign, who's the next player we're going to sign. Back in my day, we had the newspapers. I used to get the Daily Mirror. That was my newspaper, and I used to look for the transfers. I used to have 30p, and I used to buy the newspaper. If there's no transfers in there, I used to ring up the Man United hotline when my mum was at work, and I used to find out who was the next player coming through the door at Manchester United. So we got a little lucky these days, and we have got a much more open society of knowledge and information in regards to the club, which is great, of course. I think it takes away the excitement a little bit. I think it used to be so much more exciting when I was a kid. I know I'm sounding old now, but I think it used to be so much more exciting when I was younger, when we used to go after players back then. Now, prediction time. I believe Manchester United will get Leny Yoro through the door. I think Leny Yoro will be Manchester United's next signing. I believe Ligt will be United's 3rd signing, and I believe Ugarte will be United's 4th signing. If the transfer window ended there, it would be okay. It would be okay stroke good. But I can't help but think that we do need a left-sided centre-back. Let me know what you think in the comments if you think we need a left-sided centre-back. If you think we need that desperately, I think we do. I think if Martinez gets injured, if Luke Shaw gets injured, we need a left back and a left-sided centre back. We're severely lacking with left-sided players. It's something that we need to really concentrate on, and we need to get a move on with, because we do not have any left-sided players. Left back, left-sided centre back. Malacia, of course, is back. Of course, he was in training this week, so we hope that he can get back to full fitness, and we hope he can draft himself back into that team and start playing. Of course, we do need him back. If we don't sign a left back, we need him and Shaw back, of course, and back fit. Shaw will most likely get injured again. I mean, that's just what happens with Luke Shaw. He's missed somewhat 60% of Man United games since he signed for Man United, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets injured again. So Malacia is vital, is important. I'm looking forward to seeing Harry Amas in the pre-season tour. He's going with the team, of course, to Norway, to play Rosenborg, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. Luke Shaw, of course, has quoted that Harry Amas is his best player in the youth team. Being a left back, Luke Shaw, he would know with the left back situation who is the next best thing, who's the next player coming through. And I believe that Harry Amas will be a fantastic player for Manchester United. I'm looking forward to seeing him drafted into the team next season and getting games next season, a bit like Kobe Mainoo did last season. I think he'd be probably one of the next players to come through that conveyor belt of talent that we have in the youth team at the moment, the best since the class of '92. What do you think about that? Are you looking forward to the pre-season? Have you had enough of football now? Do you support England and you're tired and you want to rest? I'm ready for the new season. I'm ready for Man United, and I'm ready to go with the new season now. I'm ready for proper football to come back and proper management to come back. I'm tired of seeing Southgate on that touchline with a pool of talent and lack of performances. It just drives me up the wall, drives me mad, of course. Being an Englishman, it's not easy. It's not easy out here, trust me. It's not. And supporting them is not easy, because you know their potential. And I'm going to drift into that again, but he doesn't deserve my time. Of course, Ten Hag, another transfer news, a bit out there. I've reported it a few days ago. Other reporters have reported it after me, of course. Viktor Zhirkov, of course, who plays for Girona, Ukrainian winger, has been gaining the interest of Erik Ten Hag. Now, Erik Ten Hag has told Ineos that he would like to sign another attacking player. Big up, Mark. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well, my friend. You are a legend. Thank you for joining me this morning. Viktor Zhirkov, of course, I was reported a few days ago that Manchester United are interested in Viktor Zhirkov, a Ukrainian international who plays for Girona. Impressed last season with Girona. 49 appearances, 11 goals. So not too bad. 55 appearances for Ukraine, 13 goals. Really good return from the player. Ten Hag has told Ineos that he would like to sign another attacking player. And Zhirkov, of course, would represent a cheaper option for Manchester United, if we could say that. Obviously, when Man United go in for deals, it does get extortionate, because they know our reputation isn't great at the moment, considering what has happened the last few months, last few years, should I say. I wish it was a few months. Last few years under the Glazer tenantship, under the Glazer ownership. So Manchester United are still interested in Viktor Zhirkov. Viktor Zhirkov, of course, will add much needed depth into that squad. But of course now Sancho looks like he's staying, so it could hamper that deal, any deal for another attacking player. Now that Sancho is staying, do we need another attacking player? Mark, well, he's not on the level of MG. No. Mark, you mean Mason Greenwood? Mason Greenwood is a generational bruv. He's a generational player who I'm a big fan of. The next Robin van Persie is Mason Greenwood. Let's be honest. One of the best, if not the best, young player to come out of our academy since 1992. You know, and to be honest with you, I was so disappointed by what happened. I think we've thrown the book at him, you know, etc. There's still a possibility he stays. Nothing has been agreed. You know, he could still stay at the club. We could still have him. But having Sancho and Greenwood, would we do that? We need the money, don't we? So it's hard to see him staying, but it could happen. And if he stays, I will give him my full support. Of course, there's many people who don't want him at the club for whatever reasons. Of course, they heard the videotape and they're going to hold him against that for life. Some people just like that. Some people are sensitive. Some people don't realize young people make mistakes, unfortunately. But of course, the nature of the whole thing was obviously which put people off. But the wife has forgiven and forgotten the girlfriend. They've had a kid together. He's filmed himself with his children, with his new baby, etc. So let's move on from it. Let's give the lad a chance. He's made a mistake. He's one of us. Leave it out, and just let's just see, weigh it out, and let's see what happens. It's quite obvious. Yeah, brother, it's quite obvious that Ten Hag wants Greenwood to stay. It's very, very obvious. When you hear Greenwood, Ten Hag talk about Greenwood, it's like an element of disappointment and sadness when you hear him talk about him. Because I believe that he is a Eric Ten Hag type player. He's just what Eric Ten Hag needs. And then we're forced into this narrative where the media are pushing this anti-United slanderous regime against us, that they want us to get rid of him, and he should go, and and he should be put to the wolves, and he should be put in prison, and blah blah blah. Do you know what? There's crimes, and there's like mistakes in life. You make mistakes, and it's just the way of life. As growing up, we make mistakes, and we're atoms of energy at the end of the day, of little tranquilities and everything, and we can make mistakes. Every single one of us can make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Forgiveness is divine, as the great one once said. To err is humane, and at the end of the day, we're not God. And at the end of the day, he will be, he knows he's made a mistake. I think he's repented enough. And I think we should lay off him a little bit now. We have players who play for England right now who have worse charges, worse accusations than Greenwood. Believe it, right this second, right? Yeah, Mata needs Motta, De Zerbi, Conte. Yeah, he's a generation. Yeah, he is. Motta, De Zerbi, Conte. Yeah. But Mark. I believe that there is a possibility that he could be playing under Ten Hag. You never know. It could be. Playing under Ten Hag next season. Who knows? He might not go to Lazio or Marseille. He could end up staying at Man United, and we're happy for that. And then move on. The only thing I have concerns about is his mental health, because obviously the fans will get on his back. There'll be social media barrage. Some United fans will get on his back, of course, and it's going to be difficult for the lad. I will feel for him. I was around when Beckham was abused. I was in the stadium when Beckham was abused. And I know how that I can only imagine how that could have felt. Some of the stuff I was hearing about his wife, his kid, everything, it was disgusting. His family, it was disgusting. And back then, I had to hold some kids were holding their ears like this, at various grounds across the ground. I remember going to West Ham, and I remember the abuse he received. There's a few games that I went to. I think it was Villa I went to, and the noise and the abuse was unbelievably unacceptable. And I don't want Mason Greenwood to go through that. I don't want to. Good morning, Shabazz. How you doing? I hope you are doing well and everything is cushy. Time is the healer. We should forgive it. It's better for him to go. I also think for God, they don't need that in their lives. Shabazz, this is the whole key of it, isn't it? United are in a very, very crucial period of their history. And Man United do not need any distractions. I agree. Man United do have a distraction there still in Sancho. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they say. And Sancho has made mistakes. And I think that he is also an issue. He could be an issue. And what we don't want, and I'm not going to throw any sinister accusations out here, but what we don't want is players down tooling. We don't want any slanderous performances for any players. We don't want any players who are giving anything less than 100%. We don't, right? I want Manchester United players to give their all. I want them to fight for the manager, and I want them to believe in Ten Hag's project. Yeah. Spain, yeah. Well, Mark, yeah, Spain. The thing with Spain, right? Spain is a weird one. I've been to Spanish games. I went to Real Madrid, Madrid derby once. Well, I went to an all Spanish. When I'm talking about all Spanish, I've been to Spain a lot of times to see United, but with the same level of ability, there's no Manchester United player back over mainly with the same level. Yeah, but I went to Spain. Spain's a difficult one. Spain's a crazy place, you know. And at the end of the day, I've been to see Man United versus many teams in the past: Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc. And I think that the Spanish crowd are different. You know, they're a bit backwards in regards to their mentality in what they want, you know, and what they say and what the chance they have and stuff like that. But they welcomed Mason Greenwood with open arms, and yeah, they gave him his chance, and he's flourished. And they understand that you have to move on, live and let be, and forgive, you know, which should be it. But we live in a very judgmental society in England, you know, and in England it's very judgmental. It's very cutthroat in regards to hypocrisy and self-righteousness that happens in our country, in my country. It's pathetic, really, which is the reason that Gareth Southgate is still manager of England, of course, you know, because they think they know, but they don't know. We know as Man United fans what Southgate was doing yesterday was criminal. We know because we've seen successful sides. We've become the best team in the world. You don't win trophies, right, by sitting back. You don't. You don't win trophies by hoping for the best. This is not the prime Italian team with Maldini in the team, etc. You know, this is England, you know, and they don't have a strong defence. So why were England playing a defensive line, a defensive formation, defensive tactics? Forget the formation for a second. Forget the three at the back. Forget the wing backs. Forget Saka on the right back. England should still be playing attacking football. They weren't playing attacking football yesterday. And when it went to 1-1, that's when England should have had the momentum to win. When Palmer scored that goal, I thought England are going to win. I did. I thought they're going to win this. But then they invited Spain back onto them, and they sat back again. I just didn't understand the logic. It baffles me. You know, they do it in cricket, they do it in rugby, they do it in athletics sometimes. It's just, I don't know what it is, but, you know, there's too much favoritism that goes on. You know, Harry Kane has been dreadful the whole tournament. He should be dropped for England now. He is useless. He plays like he's a transformer. You know, he's got so slow. It's unbelievable, you know. He's just so slow. And the game was crying out for a bit of nastiness, a bit of even Tony, a bit of Ollie Watkins, Palmer early in the game. Not after late in the game when we had no chance. Early in the game, they should have done that. Just barraged Spain with attack after attack, but they didn't do it. C'est la vie, as they say. That's life. They've lost it. It's gone. Just like we won the FA Cup, Manchester City cannot get the FA Cup. Man United are FA Cup champions, so they can't get the FA Cup back. Now, just like England can't get European championships. The first thing England have to do is sack that manager. Yeah, Mark, I agree. Foden was crap. But, you know, who was good? You know, and then we start looking at, I thought Declan Rice was absolutely horrendous. I think that, you know, when you look at players and you see that Foden were playing well, okay, you see that Bellingham weren't playing particularly well. You see that Declan Rice weren't playing well. Carl Walker weren't playing well. Mainu didn't fit into. He was the better performer, but it looked like, you know, he didn't know the tactics. It was like that, you know. Yeah, exactly. Cole Palmer should have started. You know, look, I've said this many times, you know, in regards to England, right? Man United had strikers of Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Andy Cole, and Dwight York. We didn't play all four. All four were brilliant, but we didn't play all four, did we? Because we don't play. You don't have to play the best players. You can't play the best players all the time. You have to play players based on the system and balance. We kept playing players, and we've done that for decades. We used to play Scholes as a right winger, for crying out loud. And yesterday, I saw Bellingham as a left winger. Yesterday, and I'm like, what's going on? As soon as Bellingham moved into the centre, you saw chances. You saw a brilliant goal. from Palmer. And you're like, wow, that's what England can do. That's what England are capable of. There was one thing as well. There was one chance where Bellingham had, where he took out 3 players on the edge of the box and it just went past the post. It does my blood pressure, honestly, bro. It does my blood pressure. Yeah, and I had a rant yesterday, Mark. I had a rant yesterday. Mick messaged me on the stream, and he was like, Viva España. Look, I'm born in England. I'm English, right? And I understand that people have their favourites. They want a certain team to win more than others, right? But there's people who are celebrating like their team has just won the European Championships, and it's a loser mentality. It's a mentality that I frowned upon during the Sir Alex Ferguson days, when teams wanted us to lose, other rival fans wanted us to lose more than their team winning. And I just feel that is such a sad state to be in as a football fan. I think if your whole existence is about celebrating teams that you're not, especially international, you're not from Spain, you don't have Spanish blood, you don't have a Spanish grandma, you don't have a Spanish great grandma, you're not Spanish, your name's not Alejandro, just calm down, and you can have your favorites, but don't go celebrating and acting like you're Christopher Columbus all of a sudden. Just listen, calm down. It's England, Spain won, your preferred team won, but you're not Spanish. People were going out there buying Spanish shirts. People who live in England were putting up Spain flags. I just think it's sad, and I think that's one of the biggest problems in England. I think it's the biggest problem in England. England's a multicultural society, and and at the end of the day, people can have their preferences, and I'm multicultural. My father's an immigrant and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I support the country I come from, and I don't support another country. Why would I do that? Would I put it in perspective? If it was Man City versus, let's say, argument's sake, Man City versus Stoke, right? Let's say for argument's sake, and I really want Stoke to win. Would I queue up and buy a Stoke shirt from Sports Direct? I wouldn't, would I? That'd just be stupid, wouldn't it? Would I go, because I really want Stoke to win this game, I really want them to put one in on Manchester City, would I go out and buy a Stoke shirt? Sad, isn't it, really? And those people going out spending their hard-earned money on Spanish jerseys, when Spain don't give a flying F about you, and you're going out and buying Spain shirts. Then they start going on about colonization. And then they talk about colonization. England will never win anything because they're colonized everywhere. Spain? You really want me to dig deeper into anything that you really want me to dig deep into in politics? You want me to dig deep into history? Let's talk about Spain, who are one of the biggest colonizers in the world. And people just have this deep hatred for England. And mad, yeah, exactly, Mark. But we move on from that. And guess what? Real football is coming back. Real football is coming home. That's the only thing that's coming home is real football. And Manchester United are back. And I put myself on a hill, and I'm going to die on that hill, because what I said Manchester United will challenge for the title next season. They will. Believe that. Write that down. Signed, sealed, delivered. Send it to whoever you want to send it to. We're going to challenge for the title next season. It's going to shock the world. It's going to shock the world. So people are going to think we're going to struggle next season. I don't think so. I think there's a grit in their teeth. I think there's newfound belief in Manchester United that we're going to challenge. I think there's a newfound dimension about 17 games unbeaten going into Christmas. Unbeaten, invincible too. I just think there's a newfound belief in the club. I think there's a newfound sort of feeling. You have that feeling that things are going well, and behind the scenes everything seems to be going well. I just have, you have that feeling like something is going to happen good, and I had that feeling in 1998 when England, which is weird, right? I tell you, I had this feeling in 1998 when England got knocked out against Argentina. that Beckham is going to come back and perform a monumental season. And I had a feeling that Man United would be back. Of course, Arsenal just won a double then. And I had this feeling that Man United are going to come back. And they did. They ended up winning the treble, didn't they? After England got knocked out against Argentina. And I just have this feeling, the same kind of feeling, that Man United are going to go next season and are going to hit the ground running and going to win the first few games of the season. The key game is Liverpool. And when we play Liverpool, and if we beat Liverpool, we're going to be on a run. Because this is why I'm so passionate about bringing players in early. Because I really, really want Ten Hag to have a chance this season. I really want him to embed the players that he signed into the team early so that they can get used to the environment, get used to the tactics. Over the last few years, we haven't had the luxury of doing that. We panic buyed, we bought players overpriced, players that are second, third, fourth choice. And it hasn't worked. And we've gone into seasons, first game of the season, losing games. Under Ten Hag in particular, we've had a couple of bad starts to the season because we haven't had our business done. I also feel like this traveling to America and back it hampers us a little bit. It kind of tires us out a little bit as well, traveling across America, etc. So yeah, I really hope that we get some signings in early. We've got Xerxes very early, which is great. I'm glad he's wearing a shirt now. Absolutely buzzing about Xerxes coming to Man United. Can't wait to see him play for Man United, and I can't wait to see him develop into the player we know he can develop into. He's not the finished article by all means, and I believe that Erik ten Hag will build him up into an elite striker. Young Player of the Year for Bologna, of course. You know, good start, isn't it? Can't be that bad. You've got good players at Bologna. You've got good Serie A is a tough league, you know. So there you go. Shabazz, I know that already. It's the first year. We will do major stuff. I'm excited for the young players more than I'm excited for transfers. I'm excited for Harry Amas and Mark. He's a very big expert on the youth team. I watch the youth team a lot. The ones that catch my eye, Ogbenay, of course, is a one. Wheatley, of course. Amas, Shea Lacey, great players. Fletcher, brilliant players that are coming through the ranks. And we have now a conveyor belt of players that are coming through that I wouldn't say Class of 92, right? Class of 92 were kind of fortunate because they came into a team with Mark Hughes, Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce, Eric Cantona, Paul Ince, etc., right? I believe Paul Ince left that time, but anyway, Roy Keane, that's it. So they came with Peter Schmeichel. They came into a team full of winners. Now, we have to be patient with these young players, but I'm very excited about the young players coming through. I'm very excited about the players that will be coming through next season. And Harry Amas is one. I believe he will be playing against Rosenborg tonight, and I think he's very exciting, as he's a left back as well. So I'm excited about Harry Amas. Luke Shaw has praised Harry Amas in the media and said he's really excited about Harry Amas, and he's a left back as well. So there you go. You know, so that's big praise indeed for Harry Amas. Very excited about that. Very excited about that. Of course, Man United are based upon their youth. Youth, courage, success is our motto. And we always have to remember our youth team. We always have to remember never to forget our youth team. Because Sir Alex Ferguson, the great Sir Alex Ferguson once said, if you don't give youth a chance, they will stagnate. So we have to give them a chance. Kobe Mainoo was given his chance last season. He took it with both hands. Now he's one of the best young players in the world. So let's see about that. Guys, don't forget to smash a like, subscribe, click the video, do what you can. Shaw Reagan, yeah, so technically, yeah, we got a new generation of technically gifted players. But the thing I like about Harry Amas is his size, is his strength, and his composure. Brilliant. You'll see. Anyway, guys, please smash a like, please subscribe. Shabazz, Mark, you're absolute legends. Thank you for joining me today. All you guys, thank you for joining me today. You guys are legends. Don't forget to click the video. Don't forget to put your notifications on as well. You know, I'll be live for any news that breaks. I'm trying my best to run home and quickly get the stream running. You know, when you do streams, it's not just about piss and play. It's about thumbnails. It's about everything. When you're independent, you're doing everything on your own, ain't you? So big up, Shabazz. See you on the channel soon. I'll be doing phone-ins. I'll be doing live, obviously, getting people on my channel on the video perspective, so we can talk more personally and more better interaction between you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. You guys are legends. I appreciate every single one of you. Please subscribe and please smash a like again, please. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Come United. 4-1 against Rosenborg. That's what I'm going for. What are you going for? Let me know. Take it easy, guys. Peace.